This is Eldritch Song of the Magic Online clan Seraphim, and I'm here with another cube draft. So let's go ahead and get started. So actually there's quite a few interesting cards in this pack. Looking at a Johnny Vengeance, pretty sweet. And let's see what else we've got. Decent white cards actually. Let's see, Hypnotic Spectre and Fleshbag Marauder are the only black cards in the pack. Stonecloaker is good. Leviathan's more for a reanimate strategy. There are a couple of green cards. Overall, I think the best card in the pack probably is this Johnny Vengeance. And I have kind of been promising to try out more of an aggressive strategy, so maybe I'll try like red-white weenie or something like that to go for a strategy I don't usually go in for. So I'm going to first pick this Johnny Vengeance and see how those colors work out for me. Okay, so we're back. Ooh, look at this. Man, there are quite a few awesome cards here, for white especially. Let's see. I mean, there are good cards for black. There's Trainer's Edict, there's Terminate, both decent cards. To me, though, I'm really looking at like either Mirror Entity or possibly the Path to Exile are the two best cards in this pack, I think. There's plenty of removal. I think probably the Mirror Entity would be the better card to pick here. It's a low-costed creature, and also it can make all my little tiny weenie guys a lot bigger. Hopefully I'll get back the Elite Vanguard or the Solitary Visionary. Path to Exile likely won't make it back, obviously, for all these reasons. But I'm going to go ahead and grab that Mirror Entity and see what we get. Alright. So, few interesting cards here. The card standing out to me is the Student of Warfare here. Fits in with a strategy, plus it can be big, which is a good thing to handle here. Other cards look sweet. Let's see, there's really not too much for this type of deck. Rolling Earthquake, not exactly, we don't really want to have mass removal for ourselves, especially. I think really the only other card here to possibly consider would be like Magus of the Scroll. Would actually not be a bad card for this deck. I think probably that has a chance of wheeling, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Alright, so few options here. Stigma Lasher, I don't really like that card, I guess, but it's not bad for an aggressive strategy, so that might be something to consider. There's Flicker Wisp, which I think is actually a pretty good card. There's also Oblivion Ring, which is good removal. And I think here I'm just going to go ahead and take the Oblivion Ring, just because of the fact that, like I said, it is good removal. And it's a bit harder to play than Flicker Wisp, so maybe it'll keep someone from trying to go into white and steal my colors. Alright, here the choice seems fairly straightforward. Swords to Plowshares is by far the best white card in the pack. And nothing else that really grabs my attention here, so I'm going to take that. Alright, so we've got a couple of options. We've got Bone Splitter, which might actually be a pretty cool card to take here. We've also got Kami of Ancient Law. This is a bit difficult. Necrotic Sliver also wouldn't be a terrible card. We really haven't got too much red, but I'm going to go ahead and try to stick with that until... Speaking of red, I guess, this Gitu Slinger is pretty good. I think that might actually be the pick. It's not exactly that great in an aggressive deck, because you have to pay the echo cost. I think Bone Splitter probably is the better pick. I'm going to grab that instead. Let's see. The Sword of Vengeance is not bad. Don't need a Dwarven Blast Miner. It's really the only other card here to pick, so the Sword of Vengeance is going to be pretty good. And the reason really that you need some equipment is the guys who are going to be playing are going to be kind of small if we end up going with this strategy, and so because of that, we really want to have ways to make them bigger. So let's see. Obviously the pick here seems to be between these three white cards. So Savannah Lion's probably the best, because we just really want to go really aggressive. I think probably... No, this is a bit difficult. I don't think the correct pick here is the Core Sanctifiers. So really between the Stonecloaker and the Savannah Lions. And I just think the Savannah Lions probably is better for this kind of strategy. Here between the Elite Vanguard and the Shadow guy, it seems pretty obvious that I want to take a Shadow guy. But I would like the Elite Vanguard, but obviously it's a bit too late for that. Well, possibly not. There are only 7 other people here, so it could be a last pick, but I doubt it. Alright, so we ended up getting this Magus of the Scroll back, and actually I think that could be a pretty sweet card in the deck, especially if we have lots of low-cost creatures that we can just toss onto the board and end up with a few cards in the hand that make the ability more likely to go off. So I'm going to go ahead and take that, and could end up being a sweet card. And obviously I think the card here is the Manic Vandal. It's good to have some artifact removal, plus he is a fairly aggressive card. Reasonably so, low-costed. We just want to keep a low curve. Don't want to play anything over 4. I think the Johnny Vengeance should probably be the highest costed card on our curve. Alright, so here, not really too much going on. Erratic Portal we can actually play, but I don't really like that card. It's a bit expensive and doesn't really fit into our strategy. So here we can just hate something. I doubt Broodmate or this. I guess the Broodmate's not really an issue, so it's between the Spectre and the Compulsive Research. I think I'd just rather take this card away from blue. Here I'm pretty happy to take the Comedy of Ancient Law. And here, not really gonna play either of these cards. But might as well take the Helion. And Keldon Vandals is actually not terrible. I doubt we're gonna play it, but at least we'll have it. So let's take a look at the new pack. Alright, so cards that are sticking out for me are Sword of Body and Mind, Hedge Mage, Condemn, Spectral Procession. Here the pick probably is going to be the Sword of Body and Mind. I think that's a bit kind of an obvious one. But otherwise, the pick probably would be the Spectral Procession, just to have some more white aggressive creatures out. But Sword of Body and Mind it is. Alright, so new pack, Sword of Light and Shadow. Or, let's see, Stepling's the other option. Blistering Firecat's too expensive, too much too red. How much equipment do we have? We've got Sword of Body and Mind. We've got Sword of Vengeance and Bone Splitter. I guess the Sword of Light and Shadow wouldn't hurt, and also it probably works really well with the strategy, and it's possible we'll get back a Steplings. I think it's fair enough to take the sword. Might as well have the full complement here. New pack. Let's see what we've got. Keldon Marauders actually would be pretty decent in this deck. Loam Line, we're not playing the right colors. Demon Fire is interesting, but not quite what we're looking for. I think out of all these, the Keldon Marauders is the most aggressive. Not sure whether that's what we necessarily need. I think it's worth trying the Keldon Marauders here. Nothing else really is that important. It would be interesting, I think, to try out this Anka of Mishra, just to see whether that's decent or not, because I don't think we'll be playing that many lands, but let's go ahead and try this out. Alright, new card. Let's take a look. So we really don't have much besides this Tarian Mauler, and that's actually a pretty good card anyway. So it might actually be the pick here. Let's take this Mauler. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Like I said, nothing else in this pack, so let's go ahead and maul some stuff. Okay. So we've got our choices of a Mother of Runes or a Goblin Guide are the cards that are sticking out to me. Arc Lightning is decent, I think. I think I'd rather just have creatures. And I think Mother of Runes might actually be a better card here than the Goblin Guide. Just so we can give a creature protected from an opposing color and actually get damage in late game. So I think that's probably the card here I'm going to pick. Alright, so taking a look at this card, I'm looking at, I guess, is Mog Fanatic. That's kind of sad to play that card. I think I'd rather play this Core Skyfisher, actually. That seems a bit more reasonable, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And the Mog Fanatic could possibly rotate anyway. Ooh, so we have the choice of a few cards here. Paladin Invec just seems very powerful. And again, Day of Judgment is pretty sweet, but I doubt we're gonna get back any of these cards, so I think, I don't know, I don't really like having mass removal. I think I'd rather have a creature that's just very resilient. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that out. Could have been making a mistake here. I mean, Day of Judgment could be the right card here, but I guess we do need a bit more removal, I suppose. But I don't know, I just feel like I'd rather have a creature. It's a bit more reasonable to expect that. So we've got Condemn, we've got Spectral Procession. I think between those two, it's hard to tell which one. Like I just said, we were just talking about needing more removal. I think probably the Condemn is the pick here, even though I want this Procession, but we gotta make some sacrifices, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the Condemn. Here, don't really need anything. Just gonna go ahead and grab the Hearth Kami in case we end up playing against some deck that has an artifact we really need to kill. And the curve's low enough that we can play it in our deck. Here, I'm going to go ahead and take the Anka of Mishra and try that out and see whether or not it's actually a good card. I haven't played it or seen it played yet, so it could be reasonable. Alright, so let's go ahead and take the Seal of Cleansing. Might as well have some sideboard options. Okay, well, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Arc Lightning came this late, and that's an awesome card, so I'm going to grab that. And Mog Fanatic came around, predictably. And, wow, let's go ahead and take a Boros Signet. Why not? It's in our colors, after all. And Teachings. Alright. Ooh. These are interesting. So I think the pick here is the Hero of Oxid Ridge. It's a 4-drop, not too high on the curve. It'll only be our second 4-drop, so it's not like we're really overloading a curve here. And I think it's probably the best card in the pack anyway. Only other card I would consider picking here would be like the Silver Knight, and that's probably going to come back anyway. So, Hero of Oxid Ridge it is. This pack overall is kind of lackluster, I suppose. I mean, the best cards probably like the Frantic Surge, the Pulse, Putrefy. I guess Dark Confidence also pretty good, depending on what you're playing. Alright, so Tezzeret the Seeker. We've got Hellspark as a possibility, Goblin Patrol, maybe even Fire Slinger is a possibility. Okay, so possibilities. We're not playing black. Get Bitter Blossom up in here. So we got Hellspark, probably Fire Slinger and Hellspark, I would think. Fire Slinger seems pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that actually, so we can have a bit more removal. And probably get the Hellspark back anyway, but we'll see. Ooh, wow, how many? This is an interesting pack. Look at this. This just seems ridiculous. I mean, there are several cards in here that I'm really excited about. Armageddon actually might be good in this deck, for once. Armageddon's awesome. Skullclamp's also pretty good. Revelark is good. Arc Trail. Maybe even Brion's Stout Arm. Even though I don't think that's really that big of a deal because this guy is not exactly good with the creature's power and toughness we got in this deck. So really, I think for me, it's between like Armageddon and Skull Clamp here. I wonder if I don't know. I kind of feel like if I take Skull Clamp, Armageddon can come back because I don't see that many decks really want to play that card. I don't really see myself playing Revelark, but it would be good in this deck. There's no denying that. Jeez, I don't know. Revelark leaves play, return to 2 target creature cards, power 2 or less from your graveyard to play. I wonder how often we're going to get to that much. I mean, that would be effective in this deck, because most of our cards are 2 power or less. There's no denying that. But how often are we going to get 5, like let alone 6? That's a bit more of a difficult one to figure out. Skullclamp seems like it'll be good, though. Oh. I'm not sure what the right pick is here, but I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Skullclamp and hope either the Armageddon or the Revelark wields. So I think here I actually like taking the Balance. It seems like it would be a pretty good card in this deck, but I guess we'll see. Magnus of the Moat would be another option, but I just don't. It's more of a control-ish card. Isumaru, Hound of Kanda, I like that card a lot. Well, I mean, it's not a great card, but it's a cost-efficient, aggressive card. Actually, it might be worth just taking now. I'm not sure who was going to grab Balance. I might as well be safe and just take the creature I know I'm going to play. Okay. So, cards that are standing out to me, obviously the Shadow guy is going to get the pick here. Hopefully I'll get a chance to hate draft this Pyroclasm, but who knows. So, I'm going to take the Shadow. Alright, so here it's between a pretty good creature or some good removal. I think probably just need the removal at this point. It's possible the Cavalier will come back, but I don't know. I doubt it. So here, not really anything for us except for the Shadow guy, which I'm pretty happy to take. So I'm gonna get him. So actually, this has been a pretty good pack for us. All right, so we're back to our first pack. Still not much here we need. I think though I'm gonna take this Revoker because at least it's playable in our deck. It's pretty aggressive, and also it'll help us deal with any other threats that we can't take care of otherwise. Probably a sideboard card, though. Alright, so here I'm going to hate draft, I think, the Sensei's Divining Top. Don't really want to play this Goblin Patrol or anything else here, so might as well take the top and hate draft that and keep someone else from playing it. Because it can be a pretty awesome card. Okay, well, surprisingly enough, someone took the Armageddon, so our choices here are between this Brionne Stout Arm for 4 or this Revelark for 5. And I think the Revelark is just better. It seems like negative card advantage, whereas this one seems like positive card advantage, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Alright, so not really anything here we want. No surprise. So let's go ahead and hate this Scoot Mob, I guess. Don't need the Power Stone, Crystal Shard. Desolation Angel for sure, no. You know, I don't really understand the Desolation Angel. I'm not sure I get that. Like 5 mana for 5/4 flyer is okay, but it kills all your lands. That seems, I don't know. It seems like a waste. All right, let's Scoot Mob. Let's go ahead and take that. So this was the pack that had Pyroclasm mana, so someone's gonna have that hanging around somewhere. We're gonna take the Cloud Goat Rancher though. I'm not gonna play it. So we've got Force Spike, Mortifier, Mana Crypt. Don't think I need any of these cards. I'm gonna go ahead and hate, I guess, the Mortify. And let's take the creature out of that. I'm surprised no one's playing Mana War. It's actually a really solid creature. Anybody playing blue should be playing that. I don't know what people are doing in this draft. It's like some weird combinations. And the Signet. Alright, so that's the draft. I'm going to take all these cards into Magic Online and play a few matches, so I'll see you there. Alright, so here I am in deck building, so let's start putting this thing together. Alright, so they want the Condemn, they want the Hound, Mother of Runes is good, Savannah Lion is good, Student, Sword, Skyfisher, Journey, the Solitary Priest, Mirror Entity, Champion, Oblivion Ring, Visionary, Paladin, and let's hold up on the Revel Arc for right now. Let's see. The Marauders is good. The Hero Oxford Ridge is good. The Mauler is good. Let's see. Arc Lightning, good. Fire Slinger is good. Johnny Vengeance is good. Let's see. Sword of Body and Mind. Bone Splitter. Sword of Light and Shadow. I think probably all those are better than having a Sword of Vengeance. That's 23. Let's go ahead and add in Skull Clamp for 24. Let's see, any cards? Do we have anything that's a bit subpar? Not really. Not anything that I can notice. It looks pretty good. The curve is definitely tight. I mean, our options are Revelark, Magus. Yeah. Yeah. Those are the only other two cards I consider adding. I think 16 lands is probably enough for this type of deck. I don't really want to go any lower than that. I guess Revelar could stand to go up. Try 15 lands? I've never gone that low before. I think it's worth giving a shot. So color-wise, 10 and 5 probably good enough. Or maybe 9 and 6. That seems a bit safer. So let's add some Scars of Mirrodin lands, just to be new. 4, 5, 6, and 10 minus 1. Alright. So that's what we're working with so far. I don't know, I guess it looks pretty good. 15 lands is low, but I think still good enough for this kind of curve that's just pretty much really very low. But we'll see how it works out when we get going. So anyway, that's the deck, and I will see you in the matches.